Welcome in Deseret News Rewind. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart, as always, represented by Heidemann Associates, brought to you by the Terminash Guard, outfitted by Black Clover. Our mental performance comes to you by Riley Jensen Performance. And we're going to need that performance as we talk about the 5A bracket. By the way, our 5A coverage is being brought to you by, added coverage, along with everybody else, Kisis Kava. And by the way, go buy those capsules. You don't need to mix Kava. You can get capsules. You don't want to mix it. Or you can go to Synergy Worldwide and boost your immune system as well. We want to thank them for helping us out because we got some traveling to do with our friends in 4A and 5A. Dane and I will be going to the 5A semifinals, which means we're going to do 6A on one night, drive down to St. George, go do those. We're excited to do it, honestly. And these great sponsors help us make that possible. So let's talk about the 5A state tournament. The road to Santa Jorge, down to St. George.
Well, I was going to say, hey, if there are any, like Maserati dealerships who want to sponsor our coverage, hit us up on Twitter at DNews Rewind, and, we can explore possibilities, eh?
Yeah, or Sprinter vans, things like that. We're going to be slipping in some stuff. Yeah. But we're going to get it all figured out. We're excited. This is going to be awesome. So much fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to this bracket. We're going to start in the top left quadrant, if you're looking at it. And Brighton versus Spanish Fork.
This thing starts off, this is not a 1-16 matchup. I mean, Brighton's got to be like, really? That's who we get? Brighton's been so good this year. We've talked about, we had high expectations of this Brighton team in 5A, Dusty. The Spanish Fork team, they put up points. The Brighton defense is going to have to be ready to go. And you look at this Brighton team, look, Gabe Curtis, they kind of wear you down. Colin Edwards, this young man can be electric both on the outside and in the special teams, play return game. I'm going to go with Brighton because I think Brighton's that good, but I would not be surprised if Spanish Fork bites them. This is a close ball game, but I got Brighton winning this one. I'm going to say within 10 points.
Yeah, if Brighton ends up having to win this one in a shootout, 45-42, something like that.
It's not a good thing
for Brighton. It's not that Brighton's not good. It's just that Spanish Fork plays you that way. Yeah. Zach Dark gets hot, and all kinds of... It breaks loose. Yeah. It breaks loose, if you will. I'm going to go Brighton, but I think this game is a lot closer than you might anticipate.
Yep, I agree.
Because Spanish Fork keeps playing. Here's the interesting one of the night. Timpview versus Olympus.
I would have felt really confident about this game after week 9, and then week 10 happened, Dusty. I mean, Timpview goes down to Stansbury, and Olympus defeats Skyline. Big rivalry game, had to make plays late to do it. Two teams at week 10 is like, huh?
Yeah.
Look, I got a lot of people who think I don't like Olympus, and sometimes you just don't know where to go in a game. And so, by gum, I'll go Titans.
Wow.
Just to show the Olympus fans that it's nothing personal. I like Olympus.
It's nothing personal. I'll just pick you when I think you hate me, or I hate you.
In fact, that being said, I hear Raider DeMooney has a great impression of me.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go Timpview. Come on, Raider.
Wait, so which one are you going with?
Exactly.
No, this is the point of the show. Which one are you going with?
I'm going to tick Olympus off. I'll go Timpview.
I keep waiting for the Timpview team to show up that I think is possible. They showed up last year in the state tournament. I'll go Timpview. I do ever so pick because that Stansbury game does leave bad taste in your mouth. It really does. Yeah. However, they've had a week to think about it, get told what needs to be fixed. I'm going to believe they can do it. And it has nothing to do, we have Peyton Rice. It's nothing against your brother at all. But if you want to post it somewhere, and I'll wear it. So if you beat Timpview, here's what we can do. If you beat Timpview, you can give us pies in the face. You have bigger goals than that, but you can do that.
This is free bulletin board material.
Yeah, we're offering it to you.
Brought to you by Heidemann Associates.
No subscription needed.
That's right.
Salem Hills versus Box Elder.
Yeah, this is also a really sneaky game, Dusty. Box Elder is better than you think. You might see a lot of box scores of them scoring 17, 21 points a game. Think they just don't have it. No, that's controlled. That's what they want to do, is just wear you out. We saw Salem Hills team in week 10 against Maple Mountain that was frustrated for 3 of 4 quarters. Had a big explosion in the fourth to come back and make it to overtime. Jared Elmer needs you there all 4 quarters, right? I mean, this is if that's what we see from Salem Hills on this Friday night, they might go home upset by the Box Elder Bees. I'm going to go with Salem Hills. I think that overtime game against Maple Mountain maybe helps to refocus things of, hey, this is our goal, this is where we want to be. I got the Skyhawks, but this could be a really close ball game.
It could be. I can see that, but Salem Hills, this is a team that has goals, and they got to the semifinals a year ago for the first time in school history.
Yeah.
They want to get back. I'm going to go Salem Hills. This one's interesting. Lehi and Wasatch.
Lehi put up points this week. My goodness. We had a lot of expectations of that Lehi offense and thought it was just going to be kind of a more kind of run-oriented offense this year, and then comes the playoffs, and they laid it to Viewmont. This Wasatch team is really good. Co-region champion in Region 8, which I think we've seen as the deepest region in 6A, in 5A. I'm going to go with Wasatch here, but that defense better be ready to rock. They've shown up in big games this year. I got the Wasps in a close battle.
Yeah, Lehi knows how to get to the semifinals. It did it last year. I mean, we didn't expect it then either. Yeah. They could pull that off here. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. Wasatch is good. It's very well coached. Coach Coburn is going to have the Wasatch Wasps ready to go, and I'll go with Wasatch. To the other side of the bracket, Orem versus Provo.
Yes. This Provo team, first round, Dusty, looked like a different team to me.
Yep.
I mean, this is all of a sudden like, oh yeah, that's a program. And, it's been a while for them to try to get the wheels moving in the right direction there. This Orem team, Dusty, only one game the last 6 weeks of the season or whatever it was, something just absurd like that. But they played well and had to overcome a gritty team in Lehi. I'm going to go with Orem in this ball game. Be interested to see if Provo can keep this close and have another great week in the second round.
Yeah, I'm going to go Orem as well. I think you got legs, man.
Yeah.
You got to knock off some rust, but they're well rested. As we're certain, they should be healthy too.
That's what Aerosmith says too.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. Yeah. Bountiful versus Skyline. How about this? We go in the 2000s. I mean, this is Larry Wall, Roger Dupay. This is frontline material. By the way, Bountiful closed out Larry Wall Stadium. They got to put new lights up and things like that. Now they got to go close out at Roger Dupay Stadium. How about that one?
Well, and remember what we learned a week ago, Dusty? Skyline has never lost a home playoff game in Roger Dupay Stadium. This will be the last one. Look, I know I picked against Skyline last week. I hope I didn't upset any of my Eagle friends. I'm going to roll with you this week. If for nothing else, 39-0, I got the Eagles.
Davis has the thing, defend the tradition. You better be ready to defend it because Bountiful, they've been one of these teams doing one of these, but when they get hot, they haven't figured out. I'll go with Skyline as well. Bolingbroke, Manwaring, I'll ride with Skyline. This is going to be so good. Bountiful versus Alta.
Man, I saw this game and was like, oh, that is such a hard matchup for Bonneville to face. And, having the first round bye, Alta coming in, putting up a lot of points week one against Farmington. Is Ethan Jackson, how healthy will he be? To me, that's the X factor to this Alta team. If Jackson is back there, allows Randolph on the outside, everything kind of works offensively for Alta. They're going to put up points. Bonneville's going to have to find a way to keep scoring pace with Alta. I told you about Bonneville. Said to watch out for the Lakers. I just think this is a bad matchup. I got Alta.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting you to go there.
Yeah.
Everyone knows my allegiances, right? They're all known. You talk about Dusty, Corner Canyon. I go about Alta. But I don't go away from our picks so fast. I'm going to go Bonneville.
Okay.
I'll take the Lakers at home, number 3 seed. And nothing else, I just offered up some free stuff to all my Alta guys. I'm sure Ethan Jackson and DeAndre Randall. Hey, what? Yeah. Gave you love in another video. But, I'll go Bonneville. I'll ride with the number 3 team in 5A.
All right.
Springville, Maple Mountain.
It was a 29-15 game when they played the first go-around. And, this Maple Mountain team, Dusty, I was a little concerned when you see them give up the lead to Salem Hills like they did, allow Salem Hills back in that ball game late. Defense came to play in the overtimes, I thought was really impressive. Tyler Nelson, obviously very comfortable in this offense. A lot of targets outside to deal with. Springville's going to do a good job of slowing them down. They've been able to put up points as of late, had a big win in the first round, but I'm going to go with Maple Mountain, co-Region 8 champion, getting a win over Springville.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going Maple Mountain here too. I've been really impressed with what Coach Child has done with Springville. Yeah. And normally it would cause me to rise up and take a look at it. And maybe I should learn from my mistakes. but I'm going to go with Maple Mountain as well. Mainly because they've already played each other.
Yeah.
And Maple Mountain's not going to get surprised. It's not one of those things. Not going to get surprised by it. Brighton versus Timview.
Yeah, interesting ball game again. And this Timview team, I think this is a matchup that actually would lend well to them, the physicality there. But I think this Brighton team, they haven't had a really tough schedule this year. I think this is going to be one of those tests for them to see just how good they are. I'm going to go with Brighton. I think that they have an opportunity to stand up here, make an impressive showing, get a win against Timview, and advance to the semi.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with this one. This is like
It's hard.
This is the hardest one. The Blue and Orange Bowl. I mean, this is one that we wish we would have had in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, even 90s for that matter.
Yeah.
I hadn't had a chance to even participate, get this set in my head. I'm going to go with Brighton. This is just not that. This does not. I want to go with Timview because of TS Tribe and things like that. I really do.
Yeah.
I might talk myself into it the more I talk about it. I'll go Brighton. Yeah, Brighton. I'll go there. Brighton. And but a tough year for Timview and lots of different reasons why. But I'll go with Brighton. Salem Hills versus Wasatch.
Another Region 8 showdown. And Salem Hills won this game,
They
right?
shut them out.
Yeah. I think this Salem Hills team, I think that Maple Mountain loss can do something for you, right? You talk about a team that's focused, has goals, wants to get back to a semifinal. I'm going to go with Salem Hills in this one. That offense able to come and play and outscore Wasatch.
I actually agree with that too. Wasatch, when you shut a team out, that's not just by happenstance. You did it because you sucked their will to live. To steal another movie line. What movie was it? Oh, you're sucking my will to live. So I'm going to go Salem Hills getting themselves back to the semifinals. They make their way to St. George. They would have the shortest distance of any team in 5A to go play in the championship game. Just saying. They're the furthest south.
It's like it's just down the street, huh?
It is. They don't have to even pack a lunch. They'll be right there. Let's go top right. Let's see. Orem versus Skyline.
Yeah, it's been a great year for Skyline. One of the best they've had in a long time. I mean, 7-0 for the first time since '99, I think it was. Been a great year, but I think this Orem team is really good. I think they're going to be a problem. I got Orem advancing.
Orem is ticked.
Yeah.
Orem's angry. Not only are they rested, they're frustrated they couldn't get games. And now they're out to
Get
games
games.
hurt. Yeah, they're going to make them count. I'm going with Orem. You pick the ball in the bully, and the bully's going to come after you. I'm going to go with Orem. For you, Alta versus Maple Mountain.
Yeah, I think Maple Mountain in this game has clear advantage, both sides of the ball. I got the Eagles.
Interesting. I got Bountiful versus Maple Mountain. I'm going Maple Mountain too. We said at the beginning of the year, these are two teams we both talked about.
Yeah.
Hey, one was in our top 16. The other one was ones to watch. How fun is that if this were to happen? Maybe I picked it that way, so we can say that. But I'm going to go Maple Mountain in this one too. If Maple Mountain getting to the semifinals the first time in a while, be their second trip to the semifinals, if that were to happen. We both got Brighton versus Salem Hills. This would be a doozy.
This would be a doozy. The tough thing here is how good is Brighton, right? Mm-hmm. And I actually expected Brighton to be scoring a little more points this year than they have been. That's not to be negative about Gabe Curtis or anyone, but I'm kind of waiting for Coach Hem to unleash that offense a little bit. And I haven't streamed them, so maybe they have been.
Yeah.
But it just feels like a lot of games where they're scoring in the 20s. I expected things in the 30s, the 40s, and just hasn't quite been there. They're going to have to find some offense, I think, in a game against Salem Hills. I'm actually going to go with Salem Hills in this ball game. I think they have an opportunity. Defensively, they're complete, right? I mean, I know that they've lost a couple games this year. They have the opportunity to take the ball out of the hands of the opposing team. I'm going to go with Salem Hills in an upset here.
Interesting. I feel like sometimes teams need to be challenged, they need to be there, and they're going to have some challenges. If Brighton's going to get to this point. Having beaten Timview, you're going to learn something about yourselves because no matter what year it is with Timview, it's hard to knock Timview out of a state tournament. Just is.
Yeah.
And so if they were to get to this point, you're riding high, you're rolling, you got things right. I'm going to go with Brighton.
Okay.
Brighton to the state championship game for the first time in a while. All right, the other side, we got Orem versus Maple Mountain.
Yeah, it's been a great story for Maple Mountain this year, and we've talked a lot about the journey they've had, but you talk about an Orem team playing mad, and I think this is a team that, again, they know what it's like to be there, right? Yeah. And they're going to come in focused, physical, run the ball at you. Mix in Faya there. I got Orem defeating Maple Mountain.
And one of the teams that was willing to play Orem was
District.
Maple Mountain.
Yeah.
Would that just, the smiling face along the, they wouldn't let us play. Would that finally work? I don't think so. Orem is, again, I would take Orem in this one as well. Yeah. So 5A championship game, Salem Hills versus Orem.
Yeah, I think Salem Hills is going to have a similar fate as Maple Mountain in this kind of a matchup. I think this Orem team's just so good. We haven't had a chance to see them a lot, but we talk about, Micah
Nobody
Faya.
has.
Right. We talk about Faya, but you have Erickson there as well. Defensively, you have Skips. You got a lot of guys that are going to come and be problems to match up with. I think this Orem team is that good and expect them to win, their fourth straight?
Yep. Be fourth straight, third straight in 5A.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's interesting. I look at this one and it's kind of, for me, last year this was a second round game, and Brighton nearly got Orem a year ago. And Orem coaches and even Brighton coaches, like, that was an interesting team. They told me, like, hey, that was a tough game. That Brighton team was good. I just don't know that they have enough to get it done against Orem again, this time in the championship game. I got the Orem Tigers as well, taking the 5A championship home. Well, who do you got? I'm sure we got some people mad at us. Yeah. That's fine. We'll live with that. But let us know. We're taking this championship all the way through the championship game, the 5A state tournament. We'll go to St. George. Doesn't matter how many times it takes. We'll get it done. Yeah. We'll be there. For Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us watching Deseret News Rewind, the 5A bracketology video.